Hi, and welcome back into Talk of the Town. It is a new year, and of course, we're going to talk with Eric Hewitt from the Medicine Shop Pharmacy in Monona about insurance changes. Thanks for being here.
I know, exciting stuff, right?
Exciting topic. Important, though.
Right.
We need to talk
Yes.
about it because there are some common changes to insurances at the first of the year. Let's talk about those.
So I was just discussing with you a little bit before that it's really not a very fun time of year for patients and pharmacies alike. A lot of times people will start over with deductibles. Maybe they have just a completely different insurance plan altogether. Things like that where, maybe their formulary changes, where their drugs that were covered last year are not covered anymore. So a lot of different things that can go into the change of the first of the year.
Yes, and we're always trying to sort of manipulate or maneuver or plan based around that deductible, right? So what does that exactly mean for people out there?
Sure. So a deductible means that you're paying full price for, in this case, when you're at the pharmacy, your medications. Usually when there's a copay, that means that you're paying a portion and the insurance company pays a portion of that. A lot of times to start the year, insurance plans have deductibles, which means that the patient pays the full price of the medication until they meet that deductible.
Wow, okay. So when we're talking about copays now, obviously two different things, can those change throughout the year?
And that's one of the most common questions. Either, all of a sudden they're meeting a deductible and their price goes up, or just their copay in general changes. Again, the copay is the price that you pay the pharmacy at the time you pick up your medication. The insurance company will pay a portion on the back end to the pharmacy, but we see it all the time. Your copay last year was $5, and all of a sudden you come in and now it's, $7, $8. And we always get the question, even though we're not the ones that set those copays, why did my copay go up? That kind of thing. So
why did you do this?
Exactly.
To us, Eric?
Yeah. If I had that kind of power, it would be nice. But yeah, unfortunately, we do not. So.
Yeah, and I tend to think of those as being fixed. So that would be a surprise as a customer or a patient. Now, let's talk about when you hear this term. I've heard it myself, that your prescription needs prior authorization.
Yeah.
Why, or what does that mean?
Sure. So I kind of mentioned formularies a little bit, and so those are a list of covered medications that insurances have. If it's not on that formulary, meaning it's not a preferred drug through the insurance, sometimes you have to provide, or the doctor has to fill out extra paperwork for the insurance company to say why they're choosing that drug over one that might be preferred on their plan.
I see.
So if they want a specific drug and it's not technically covered by the insurance outright, there's forms that the doctor has to fill out, and the doctor has to, again, submit information to say, this is why I want that drug and why the preferred drug won't work. That's called a prior authorization. Unfortunately, it's most times paper process, and it does take days to maybe a week to get that taken care of in some cases. So.
Interesting. Okay, learning a lot here today. Formulary changes, which you mentioned.
Yep.
What is that, first of all?
Yeah. So again, formulary is a list of medications that the insurance company covers.
Okay.
So when a formulary change occurs, that means that maybe your blood pressure medication used to be preferred under that plan last year, and now after the first of the year, after some plan change, it's now no longer the preferred product, and you may have to get one of those prior authorizations in place to continue taking that medication.
I'm so glad you are keeping track of all of this, Eric. There's so much to know.
Yeah.
And another thing that happens, as you mentioned in the front of the interview, is that oftentimes our insurance policies change. Maybe it's based on an employer change or something of that nature.
Yeah.
Do they notify the pharmacies when that happens?
This is one of the most common, misconceptions I think that's out there, or people just don't think about it. Everybody's busy at the first of the year too, but pharmacies do not get a file, that's uploaded into their system to let us know about insurance changes. So it's really on the patient responsibility to get that new card to the pharmacy, so there's not any of that kind of back and forth with insurance companies or anything like that when coverage for the previous year has ended and the new coverage starts. So it's kind of, like I said, unfortunately a manual process for patients that they have to actually bring in their card and bring in their new processing information so they can get that new plan in place.
Maybe someday insurance companies will notify all of the pharmacies for us.
Yeah, they're not in the business of helping us out all that much.
Well, there's a whole lot to know, and the experts over at Medicine Shop Pharmacy in Monona can help you out this season. Thank you so much, Eric.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
We'll be back with more Talk of the Town after the break.